Alright, hello everyone, this is Team Rocket Draws with another video. This time we're gonna draw, hopefully I pronounced it right, Dedenne. I don't think I pronounced it right, but I guess we could get started. So as you guys can see on screen, that's how he ends up looking like. So if you guys would like to learn how to draw him, I guess we could get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference on screen, that way it'd be easier for you guys. That way you guys can look at all the details and basically just use it as a reference, you know. And first of all, we're just gonna start by doing a circle, and just try to make it how should I say, a perfect circle. So this line, try to make it straight, because we're gonna base almost everything off this circle. So the better that you guys make it, the easier it'll be. And the length of this line right here that you guys are gonna make, because we're gonna do the inside first, we're gonna do like a plus sign. So the length of this line right here is gonna be how big he is. So you guys could base how big you guys want to make it by this line, you know. So he's basically gonna be pretty small right here, as you guys can see, compared to my pencil and to my fingers. But yeah, we're gonna start by that. And right here I use a paper. You guys could use a ruler, you guys could honestly use anything, but I like using just a paper, and it's a pretty small paper, as you guys can see right here. And I like to use it just to measure the lines, or just to use it as a reference to see the size of certain things, because it just makes it a little bit more accurate. And this is I should have like a live commentary. I'm not doing a voiceover, so it might be a little bit longer than normal, but yeah, so let's get started. So right here I'm just measuring like the tip of the paper. You guys can make this line as big as you guys want, you know. And then we're just gonna measure that line. So I'm gonna do the tip, and then right here at the bottom I'm just gonna mark it off on the paper. And I do this little line just because, as you guys can see, these are other lines from other drawings. So I just do little marks just so I can know that's the exact line. And then I just fold the paper, because we're gonna cut it right in the middle. So then I like to fold the paper in half, just that part, you know. And it gives us this dent right here, you know, and that's basically like right in the middle. So this is the middle. So we'll go back and place it, and then just sorry about that. And then we're just gonna go back and then just mark it off, you know. If I could get it right, keep moving it for some reason, and just mark it off. And as you guys can see, this is our line right here, right in the middle, I mean. So then we're just gonna do a line going across the paper. Alright, so it should be fairly straight. I don't know if it is, because it's different from you guys, because you guys are looking at it straight down. I'm looking at it at an angle, so it might not be straight. Hopefully it is, but we could fix that in just a little bit. So hopefully it is a straight line. I'm not sure, it might be slanted to one side, so I'm sorry if it is, which usually it is. So now we need to measure this line, because it's supposed to be exactly the same length as this one going down. So once again, we're gonna use that middle line, which is gonna be this line going down, and then it should be up to here. So as you guys can see, I barely made it a little bit. I made it too far on this side, and then on this side also should be around here. So that didn't go off by that much, but the reason I do these lines is just to help us get a perfect circle. You guys could go for it just by doing the circle freehand, but I really recommend that you guys do this just to help you guys out, get it a little bit more better, since we are gonna base everything off this. And then we're gonna do it like into the corner. So once again, I'm gonna put it right in the middle, and then I'm gonna do a little dot right here at the ends, and that's just gonna be like to help us, you know, make it even better. So and then once again, going the other corner. So it's this one right here, and then right here. And you guys can make more to make even more better. For example, going this way, as long as this the middle stays in the middle, you guys can keep going, and it'll give you a perfect circle. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's a good way to do circles. So now we just like connect the dots. We're just gonna connect all these dots. So yeah, and remember not to press that hard on your paper, because there is gonna be some erasing. So don't press that hard, you know. I have to press a little bit harder on my drawing, just so it could show up a little bit more clear on video. But Just keep in mind that not to press that hard. Alright, so now that we got this circle, it's not perfect, but that's the best I'm gonna do right now. Like I said, I could have done more going like in different angles, doing the lines, and it would have been absolutely perfect, but let's just go with that, you know. This is the side that doesn't look right. Let me just fix it. Alright, so now that we have this, we basically have our starting point. So now that we have that, we're gonna start by doing the body. So right here, look at the gap that this line makes, you know, and for example, this is half, or at least this around halfway right here, and it should be, I'm gonna say, like less than half of half. So if you do a line right here and then do another one over here, and then this is half of this, so it should be a little bit less than that. We're gonna do a point. So then look at the gap that this line makes, and then do the same thing over here, so it's around here. So this gap and this gap, and then this is just gonna help us do the body, the head, basically the head. So then around here, we're just gonna curve this line like this, and he's not gonna end up looking like the reference 100%, since I am trying to make a tutorial, but let's see if we get pretty close to it, you know. So now do the same thing on over here, on this side I mean, and then just try to round it off. If this is not round, just try to make it a little bit round, you know, but it should end like, kind of like a point, a rounded point on top of here. I'm sorry my hand's a little bit shaky. I just washed my cleaned my fish tank, and my hand's a little bit wet. So alright, so now let's get started on this side. Well, not my hand, I meant my shirt. So it's a little bit. Alright, so now on this side, we're just gonna do once again here. So as you guys can see, it kind of goes in the middle like this, and then do the same thing on this side. Like this. I'm tempting to do this a little bit more better, but we'll leave it like that, you know. And then over here, it actually doesn't go exactly with this line right here from the circle. It actually comes out a little bit. So then from here, this is actually the bottom, so we're just gonna extend this line, but it doesn't follow the circle. Well, it does right here, but it comes out, as you guys can see, and then just connect it with this one like this. So as you guys can see, it comes off a little bit, and then just basically do the same thing on this side, but it doesn't go out that much, so just keep that in mind, you know. It's not like it doesn't go out by far. So like this. Now that we have this, we basically have our body. So this is gonna be the head, and then this is gonna be the body, and it kind of looks like the head is a little bit smaller than the body. So you know what, I am gonna change that, because I did this before. I did this video, but I didn't like how it came out. For some reason, it didn't seem right. It looked really weird, so I ended up erasing it. Well, not erasing it, I didn't want to make the video of that one, you know. So I decided to redo it, you know. If I'm not happy with it, like I'm not gonna upload it, you know. And hopefully you guys find this tutorial helpful. Alright, so basically let's do the same thing, but let's go in a little bit more on the top. So once again, this line has to be curved, but I guess we could go in a little bit more. It might not be that much of a difference. Let's just curve it. Maybe it would have, if we would have gone a little bit more in, it would have been a lot more clear, and a lot more, the change a little bit more noticeable. But it doesn't really matter, you know. It's okay if it doesn't come out 100% like the reference, as long as it still looks like him, then by all means, you know. So as you guys can see, this top part, it's a little bit smaller than the bottom, so I think that's what I didn't do on my other drawing, so probably that's what messed it up. So now that we have that, we're gonna do the ears, and honestly the ears seem really hard for me. I don't know why. They just seem like really complicated, since you have to do two of them and they're basically the same. So these are gonna be facing almost the middle point, so we're gonna do a space around here, and basically do the same thing, you know. Make sure that these two spaces are the same on both sides. So now we're just gonna do a line going like this, as you guys can see at an angle. Make sure that both sides are the same, you know, like that. And now we're just gonna extend this line around there. So just, you know what, let's use our paper just to be exact, because I believe that this line should be the same length as the ear. So let's do that. So I have my reference on my tablet in front of me, so let me just get a rough estimate of how long it is. So I guess it should be a little bit smaller than this line. So let's see if we could get that, the length of that, which is basically right here where I marked it off before. Let me just make another mark just to see this. So now it should be a little bit smaller, right? So it should be a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna say to around here, but let me mark it off just so I can do it on the other side too. So this is half, so then around here erase it, and then basically do the same thing on this side. So it should be around here once again. So that should be the same on each side. So now that we have that, now we know how far to make our ears. So now we're gonna use this line as the middle line. So now we're gonna start around here, and then just basically do kind of like this point at the bottom, like this. So basically you're gonna do the same thing on each side, you know. Whatever you do on this side has to be the same on this side. So let's just round it off like this. And once again, let's use this to know how far we're gonna make it.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
So it kind of makes like this seed shape, like a seed, like this. And this is what's really hard for me. Hopefully you guys find this a little bit more easier. So basically each side is supposed to be the same. So now for this side, so once again do the same thing. Come out a little bit down from there, and then this is the top, and basically do the same thing. These are supposed to be like the same, you know, the ear's supposed to be basically the same. So this is where I have trouble doing this, so if they don't come out right, I'm really sorry. I warn you guys. Hopefully you guys can do a better job. Alright, so there we go. I'm gonna leave it like that. I think this one looks a little bit smaller, but I'm gonna leave it like that. And now that we have the ears, I guess we could erase these lines. We don't need them no more. That was just to help us place the angle of the ears. We didn't have to do that, but if I can make it a little bit easier for you guys, then I will, you know. So now for the cheeks come out a little bit from this point right here. So around here, I'm gonna say, and then it does go a little bit lower than this line, the middle line, and it makes this oval shape like this. And they're fairly small, honestly. There's a good gap between these if you guys look at the reference. And then just do the same thing on this side. So comes out a little bit. And one thing that we could do just to make sure that it lines up is we could do a line going across. So let's say we do one. We could do a line going across, so it should be the same thing on this side. So once again, we could use some paper if you guys just to make sure. So this is the tip, so it should be around this. So just to make sure it's the same length on each side, we could just notice. You see, it's the same on each side. So now we know how big to, how high to make it, you know. And this is how I draw. Like usually I don't do these shapes when I draw, but I do measure like these lines. Like for example right here, I would do a line just to make sure that they line up. But I don't normally use the paper. Usually I just like try to in my mind, you know, like at least try to get it right, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it really helps if you guys use a paper. So now that we have the ears, we can start by doing like the stomach. So this is the middle line. We're gonna go a little bit lower than that. We're gonna do a shape right here, so it goes to around the middle right here. Do the same thing on this side. We're gonna split this section in half, and also this one, and then we're just gonna do this like kind of like triangle shape almost. And then it shouldn't go further than this line right here, you know. It should a little bit, but not that much. so you guys could use this as a reference, you know, to know how far to make this. And once again, like I said, usually I these are the things that I do, but I don't usually make these lines. Like I just in my mind, you know, that in my mind I do it like. Alright, so now just curve it right here at the bottom like this. So both sides should be even, although for some reason this side seems to be bigger than this side, and I'm fairly sure it is. Let me just measure it just to see if I'm right. So this is the line I extended just to make sure. So as you guys can see, it is actually by a lot. So let's just change that. We could erase this. It makes it a little bit more accurate. We didn't have to do that, but if we can make it a little bit better, go ahead. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but if you guys made it right, then good job, you know. So now that we have that, I really need to hurry, because usually when I do live commentaries, it takes a little bit longer than if I did what's it called, just regular ones. So now for the eyes are actually smaller than the cheeks, but they're basically the same thing. They're oval. So let's just try to just see how far it is from it. So now let's try to do the eye. I'm gonna say around this big, and I'm gonna have a lot of trouble right here with the eyes. I'm really bad at doing eyes, so I'm gonna say around there. So now I try to do the same thing on this side, and this is where I have a lot of trouble. Once again, you guys could do a reference line at the top, just to make it a little bit easier on you guys. And you know what, I'm gonna do that just because I'm really bad at doing eyes. You guys don't have to do this, but I am, you know, because it's like I said before, I'm horrible at doing eyes. If you guys seen my other videos, you guys will know what I'm talking about, especially if you've seen my hoopah tutorial. The eyes on that one, they just look really bad. I was really embarrassed. I didn't even want to upload it, but at the end, you know, I'm like, you know what, I'll just let them know, you know, that I didn't do a good job, and hopefully they forgive me. So now we got the eyes. I'm gonna leave them like this. I don't know if they're good, but I'm gonna leave it like that. And as you guys can see, they're not straight, like going just a straight oval. It's kind of going at an angle, and it's kind of like pointing to this corner. And once again, it's just a reference. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like that. Honestly, you guys can just make it straight, but we're trying to be as close to the reference as we can, so we're just gonna go by that. And you guys could do a highlight, which is basically another oval in the middle. You guys don't have to do it, but I'll do it just so we could see Dedenne, or a little bit more clear. I don't think I'm saying it right, but hopefully I am. So now that we have that, I guess we could finish the top by finishing off the ears. And this is a good gap right here. So right here where the circle, where we're doing the circle, that's where we're gonna start. And just make sure that this gap is the same on each side, you know. So for example, right here it's a pretty big gap, and then at the top it's pretty thin, you know, it's pretty close to the other line. And then once it gets to around here, it starts getting thicker. So once it gets to like right in the middle, it starts to be the same gap on this as on the bottom. So we're just gonna try to do that. So around here it starts to get thicker like this, and there's the outside. So the see right here is smaller than over here, and then once again it's smaller on over here. So now we're trying to do the same thing on this side. So we can mark it off at the top just to make sure that the gap is the same. So it's just gonna help us know. And then I know that it starts getting big around here, so now we could do the same thing on this side. And then over here we're gonna use the circle, and then just do another, and once again make sure it's the same, you know, as over here, to do another like this, the shape of a seed almost. And right here I'm noticing that these are not the same, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really matter. So we basically have our ears. I think this one's a little bit bigger than that one, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'll fix it later once we have more done. So now that we have the ears, we're gonna start by doing, I guess, the tail. Let's start by doing the tail. So the tail goes, see, look at the reference and see how far the tail is from this point. So it should be around here. See the gap, make sure it's the same on the reference. So now we know that that's how high it is, or where to place it. And then it goes this way. And on the reference you can't see this, but we're just gonna guess to where it goes. And I noticed that on the reference it has this small gap right here, the orange part. So I know that that's wrong. It's not there, because this is the top of the tail. So let's just get the gap, or how thick the tail is. And I'm noticing that it's the same thickness almost as this right here. So we're gonna do it this thick. So try to make the same gap on over here on this side. So I'm gonna say around there. That's pretty good. So now we're trying to make this gap right here, just like on the reference. So I'm gonna cut this around here just so we could have this a corner, and then we're just gonna connect it with this one, you know, and then it goes up a little bit right here, like this. And now on this side it also has the same thing. So we're just gonna do a line right here, just so we could have this corner piece, just like on the reference. And then we're just gonna connect it with this line at the bottom. And now that we have that, we just extend this one. It doesn't go that far, it goes to around here. And then let's just complete by doing the top and just make it the same thickness throughout the whole tail, you know. So like this, and then it makes this kind of like an oval shape right here, like this. So now try to get the same thickness once again on over here. So we can start it on top over here and then just connect it like this. There we go. So now we have the tail on that side. So I guess we could finish it off by doing it on this side. And once again, try to maintain the thickness throughout the tail. And it's really crucial, you know, or else it's gonna be a little bit off. So try to make it accurate. So now that we have the tail, we could place the hands. So the hands, let's say, just look at the gap, you know. I guess we could start by doing the mouth. That way we can know where to place the hands, because the mouth is gonna help us. So now around here we're gonna use this line on top of the cheeks. This is where the nose is. So if you guys look at the reference, it lines up with right there. So we know just to make this line right here. And then right under that to around here, where the eyes end, this is where like the teeth, the mouth starts. So then it makes this kind of like this triangle shape at the top, like this. And then it ends around right here, like right under one of the eyes. So now we know where to do it. So now we can just connect these two lines. And once again, let's look at the other side. So it's around here. So now that we know where it ends, we just connect these two lines like this. There we go. So now that we have that, we could do the bottom, which ends around here. Not exactly in the middle. You guys could put it right here in the middle, but it's a little bit higher than that. But you know what? I think I'm gonna do it in the middle, just because it has this better shape to it. So just try to do the same thing on this side. So leave the same space here as you do on this side, and then just do like kind of like this circle shape, like half a circle. There we go. And then the teeth is just it's basically like this. Just do a triangle upside down, you know, like that. And we have our mouth. Now that we have our mouth, we could do a line going down the mouth. Just make sure it's even on this side. Do the same thing on this side. So now we know where to start our hands, because if you guys look at the reference, where the hands start is like right under right here where the mouth is. So it just makes it a little bit more accurate. So now we know where to do this line right here. Then it has this triangle shape that goes in the middle like this, and then it goes another one that goes here. It barely sticks out from the tail, the tip barely does. And it has another one here, and then just make it a point over here. And these hands look a little bit weird for some reason. They just look a little bit weird. We could erase these lines. Wait, let me just leave this one, because it's starting to look a little bit weird having all these reference lines. So you guys could erase them just to make them a little bit more cleaner. That way it might, because sometimes when you have so many reference lines, it gets a little bit confusing. So I guess we could erase some of them just to make them a little bit more clear. I think the eyes are a little bit too small, or something doesn't look right. I don't know what it is, but something right here. I guess we're missing the antennas on the cheeks. That's why it doesn't look right. But let's get to that in a little bit. So now we know where to start this hand. And this one, once again, this finger is like right in the inside of the tail. And just make sure that each hand is similar, like on the same size. And then on this one, it actually sticks out more than it does on this arm or hand, I mean. And then once again, do the shapes, and then make sure that these gaps are the same, you know. So this line should be the space that from this line and this line should be the same thing on this side. You guys could just guess. To me that looks accurate. Maybe this one's a little bit bigger than this one. Once again, you guys could use a paper just to make sure, you know, just if you guys want to make it a little bit more accurate. So for example, this one's to here. I'm just gonna mark it off like that, just so I won't get confused. And they're similar, so they're the same size. So we could just erase the inside of that. That's why I said not to press that hard, because there's gonna be some erasing, you know. So as you guys see, now the hands are proportioned to the whole body. So now I guess we can start by doing the feet. So the feet start off a little bit to the left of this. I'm gonna say around there. And if it doesn't add up the same on your drawing, it's okay, you know, it doesn't have to, as long as you guys make it work for you. So I'm gonna say like this. He almost has these kind of like webbed feet. Now on this side, and as you can see, they don't stick out that far away. So this one starts once again where this line is. So we're just gonna do the same thing. Just basically do these triangle shapes, and then just end it up like that. Maybe I went too far on this one, but like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And once again, make sure that the space from this line to this line is the same on this side, you know. And to me that looks alright. I'm not gonna measure it, but if you guys want to make it a little bit more accurate, you can. So now we have the feet. We just need the tail, so I need to hurry up a little bit. It might be taking a little bit too long. So now it makes this like triangle shape right here, and once again do the same thing on each side. So make the triangle shape like that. And something that we could do is we could do once again a reference line going right here. Like you guys could make the whole line, but I'm just gonna make it mostly on this side, lined up with the point, because if you guys look at the reference, the point where the tail ends shouldn't go further than this line. It's almost at the same level as the point. So you guys could do this line just to make sure that you guys don't go further. Now on this side, once again, it has another triangle, and then this one on the left side, it's a little bit bigger, and this one's small, and then it just ends at a bigger triangle at the top. And it may not look the same. I think it's a little bit more thicker, but you guys could always change it, you know. Right here I'm just doing it quick, that way we could finish, that way the video won't be that long. So I'm gonna leave it around there. So I guess we could erase this line. And like I said before, usually when I draw, like normally I look at where it, like for example here, I see that it's almost at the same level as this point. So when I'm drawing by myself, like without doing a tutorial or anything, that's what I pay attention to, you know. And usually I don't do these lines right here. I just like in my mind, you know, I'm like, I know it doesn't go further than that, so I try to not to place it further than that. And that's something I really recommend that you guys doing when you guys are drawing, is just compare everything with everything else. For example, the eyes are a little bit smaller than the cheeks, so that's something now you know that to do the eyes smaller, you know, and now you know how big the cheeks are and stuff like that. Now that we have that, let me just erase the circle. Let me just redo it, because we're gonna need it for the cheeks. So now the cheeks, right here, it's almost like right in the middle of the whole cheek. We're just gonna do a point, and we're gonna extend this line, and this is the circle that we did at the beginning, so it barely goes over this line. And now that we have this, we're just gonna try to get the thickness of the cheek of the antenna. So I'm looking at it, and I'm gonna use another thing to make a reference, just to know how thick to make it. And I noticed that it's a little bit smaller, the gap's a little bit smaller than the tail. So now I know to make it, let's say, I'm gonna say around here. So now just try to make it the same on each side, and then we're just gonna do another line like this. This one kind of goes down a little bit, and this one goes a little bit further than this one. So now once again try to make it the same thickness throughout now, and then just make it at an end at a point right here like this, and this side, and just connect it right here. Alright, so now that's that trick. So now right here we're just gonna do a line going like this, another one over here, and then we're just gonna do kind of like this triangle shape like this, and then we're gonna once again, I guess we could extend this line a little bit more now, and then the gap right here is a little bit longer, so to around here, and then once again we're gonna extend this line, the same on this side, and it should go further than this one, you know, it's longer than that one. So I'm gonna say around there, do the same thing on this side. Now we're gonna extend this line and make sure it's even, you know, it's even, and then we're gonna go around this far, around the same length as this one. So this line is the furthest one, so I'm gonna say around here. Now this one is the biggest one, the longest one. So now we could just erase the inside where the lines connect, and it'll give us a shape. And you guys can make this a little bit more better on your drawing. Like I said, this is just a rough sketch, and after this, I do all this, I go back and I make any changes, you know, I fix it up, I make it a little bit better. So now we're basically gonna do exactly the same thing as we did right here for this antenna on this side. So around the middle, once again, we're just gonna extend this line to around here. You just see this is the circle, or the line from the circle, so it doesn't go that far, and try to make it the same thickness as this one. So I'm gonna say it's around here. This is how thick it is. And then around here, once again, we're gonna do these things and just try to make these the same. So that's how long it is, so I'm gonna try to make it that long also on this side. Now just extend this line, and once again same space, or it should be the same as on this side, so I think it's a little bit longer than that. Alright, so now this one, make it longer than this one. So this one should be the same as this one. Once again, you guys can use a paper just to make it a little bit more accurate. For example, this is how long this line is. So I guess we could just go like this, and then it's this one. Boy, I got confused already. I don't know what I was doing. Alright, it's this one. So as you can see, it does get a little bit confusing with so many marks. That's why I add like little things, and once again just finish it off, and just extend this line right here. And once again, this one is smaller than this spike right here, so I'm gonna say around there. So hopefully both of them look the same. This one looks a little bit bigger, so I might change that in a little bit. But I think I'll leave it there for now. Like I said, I'll make any changes in just a little bit, but I think this one's way smaller. So now once again, let's finish this one. Like once again, try to make it the same as on that side, so it goes to around here, and once again try to make it the same thickness like this. And I guess we're basically done. So right here, it does look, this one does look a little bit smaller than this one, so that I'm gonna change that. I might change these ears because I think this one's bigger than this one over here, so I might change that. So now look at your drawing, go over your drawing. If something doesn't look right, you guys could change it, you know. For example, like I said, I'm gonna change this antenna right here because this one is a little bit bigger than that one, so I might make this one a little bit bigger, you know, and the ears too. So that's what I noticed on my drawing. Maybe on your drawing is something else, so go ahead and make any changes. I might also fix the tail right here because I noticed that it should be a little bit more thicker, a little bit more bigger on the sides, so I'm gonna change that, and then just erase these reference lines right here that you guys have. Once again, we don't need those. Just look at the reference, that's where I put it, just so you guys can know roughly how it should look like, you know. And then just and then we have Dedenne. So hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. If I do end up coloring it, I'll show you guys in a little bit, but I don't think I will because I'm really bad at coloring, you know. I'm not that good. I might just color it and put it as the thumbnail, but for now I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. Like I said, I did color it before, but I didn't like how it looks, so so yeah, so hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you guys found it helpful, or if you guys drew it, please leave a like. If you guys got this far on the video, please leave a like. It really helps me out, you know. It helps the channel grow a little bit, that way my videos could be seen by other people. That's the only way they will, if with your help, you know. So if you guys found this tutorial helpful, please leave a like, you know. It really helps me out, and subscribe for more Pokemon tutorials. If this is the first video that you've seen by me, check out my channel. Like I said, I have a ton of Pokemon tutorials right now, and if you guys want to leave any suggestions on the comment section below, letting me know any Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, go ahead. But just keep in mind that I might not do it like right away, since I have a list of a lot of Pokemon that I'm gonna do. So until I finish the ones that I have before, I'll do it, you know. So I have a lot of requests right now, so if I haven't done it yet, it's because of that. And that sound was my chair, by the way, if you guys heard. I don't think you guys did, but yeah. So yeah, so hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. Once again, please leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws, also known as 707 Rosetown, out.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.